Hey YouTube, Matty's Day 12, Team JMT, coming to you guys with a little overview of my Chaos Dragon deck and how I did at the St. Louis Regional. So I ended up finishing 3-3 before we all ended up getting tired and just wanted to leave. There was actually 9 rounds in the tournament, and we had a 3.5 hour trip home, and everybody just kind of got tired of being there, so we ended up leaving early. But the biggest thing that I learned from this event is that I need to play more. I overlooked so many plays when thinking about it after the game. Games even that I won, that I was like, I could have done that better, I could have done that easier, I could have done that using less resources if I would have went this route, and just questioning everything that I did. And I've really come to realize that I've not spent enough time playing this game since the point that Chaos Stun has not been as competitive. I've not put as much effort into trying to play these meta decks as I really put into trying to play those. And I think that's part of the reason why my stun decks have not been near as good as what I've thought they have been when taking them to events, because I'm not understanding the meta near as much as what I thought I was. So you're going to start seeing a lot more duels on my channel from me. You're going to start seeing a lot more regional tracks and local tracks out of me. I'm going to start talking a lot more about what the decks are doing and what I'm doing. So yeah, that's what you're going to see coming out of this channel. So now let's talk about the deck itself. The main deck, Red Eyes, you know what you're going to do with that. Light Pulsar is excellent. Dark Flare at 3 was amazing. This is my new best friend in this deck. This card I get to be aggressive with. With everything else, I try to be a little more cautious. Nobody really worries about Dark Flare, so when you drop him out there, they're always timid to warning him. They'll try to bottom the scene, but they're always timid to try to warning him because they want to save their warnings for Red Eyes or for Light Pulsar or for Sorcerer or Blackluster Soldier. But Dark Flare was so good, not just because of what he does, but because he's a level 5 and he led into my Volcanosaurus plays, and I really like that card. So yeah, Dark Flare is like my new best friend in this deck. Dark Arm Dragon, Eclipse Wyvern, Blackluster Soldier, Sorcerer, Double Trag, Gores, Jane, Triple Lila, and Double Raikou. I feel like Double Raikou was an excellent choice for this deck. I feel like that's the appropriate number to play. 3 Lila. Now, I'm only playing 2 MST. 3 Lila, I was not really as satisfied with as what I thought I was going to be. Jane was above average. There was some matchups where it was just not very good, but it was still a quality card and was still put in work for me. But the Lilas, it's not that they did anything wrong or that I drew into them too often or anything. It's that I just really liked Aaron. And I really feel like Aaron should have been in the main deck. So that's my thoughts on the Lightsworn engine, and that's probably a change that I'm going to make. Double Card Trooper, Double Tour Guide, Night Assailant, Double Effect Veiler, and Debris Dragon. Debris Dragon was so good. I made Black Rose Dragon, I think, 3 times Saturday. And every time that I blew up the field, I followed it up with Dark Flare, Light Pulsar, and Chaos Sorcerer. I was never able to drop a BLS on that play, but I always followed it up with at least 2 monsters in Chaos Sorcerer, Dark Flare, Light Pulsar, sometimes 3. But yeah, Debris Dragon was just so good. I had another play where I summoned him, grabbed Card Trooper, milled for Card Trooper, and then removed Debris Dragon for Red Eyes Darkness Metal and used Darkness Metal's effect to summon a Dark Flare from my hand. That was a really good play because I ended up with Red Eyes, Dark Flare, and Card Trooper on board. Card Trooper didn't get the attack bonus because Debris Dragon negates its effect, but you can still pay the cost for his effect. So yeah, I mean, I was able to make that play, and of course Red Eyes at 2800 was just too good. Alright, now the spells. Charge, Double Recharge, I think that was excellent with the 6 Lightsworn monsters. Allure, Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, double MST, and double Lance to round out the spells. If I drop the Lila, I feel like I'm going to bump MST up to 3. However, I do like the double Lance. I feel like Lance has a spot in this deck. I'm just not for sure if it's at 2. I kind of feel like I would have rather had the 3rd MST. But the battle trick plays that you're able to make with Forbidden Lance is just too good. Plus, they're always wanting to try to save their back row to try to prevent the Red Eyes and the Light Pulsar and Dark Flare plays. Not Dark Flare as much, but really the Light Pulsar plays and the Red Eyes. And you can protect those plays with Lance. But again, I don't feel like it was good at 2. I feel like it does have a place in this deck and it is needed. I just don't know that at 2 is the right number. Double Breakthrough Skill. Double Breakthrough Skill was amazing. It's an effect Veiler, of course, and then if you mill it and it's in your graveyard, you can remove it to negate the effect of a monster on the field during your turn, which was really good because somebody brought in Fossil against me. The Rock Stun that I played in round 2 brought in Fossil for me. And he thought he had me beat. I removed Breakthrough Skill to negate Falsadina's effect. Went Dark Flare, Light Pulsar, removed Dark Flare for Red Eyes, grabbed another monster from the graveyard, and just made like put 4 big dragons on board. And then, just trampled over top of his Falsadina that I was able to negate with Breakthrough Skill. So yeah, Breakthrough Skill was really, really good for me. Now the extra deck, Gustav Max, I actually made him twice, I think. Once with a Red Eyes and a Trag, just to burn for the last 2K to win the game. And I'm mainly just out of Trag and Trag. Charger has to be there. Atum has to be there. The Atum plays are really not as easy to make as what you would hope for, but they're there and you have to have him because he makes for good plays. Exabeetle was another card that I made some great plays with. Photon Strike Bouncer is a must. Number 61, Volcanosaurus. If Dark Flare is my new best friend, this is my new best friend's car, I guess. I don't know. But Volcanosaurus was just so good. Bringing him out, destroying a monster, doing burn damage. He can't attack directly, which sucks, but he can still attack and run over something. And if you have a situation where your opponent has an open field, you can always overlay Gaia Dragon over top of him, giving you a slightly larger attack that you could attack directly with. Just too good, man. Volcanosaurus was just really good Saturday. Dragon Queen Jin, made a play with that. Actually made that play, with a Trag on board. I made that guy, grabbed targeted Dark Flare in the graveyard, making Trag level 5. Then used Dragoon Jin's effect, grabbing that same Dark Flare from the graveyard, making Volcanosaurus, destroying their monster, and then overlaying for Gaia Dragon and attacking for game. So Jin was excellent. Abyss Dweller made it once in a non-appropriate spot, but he was a beater, so I needed that little extra damage, so he was there. Leviathan, Giga Brilliant, Zen Mains, Leviair. That rounds out the rank 3s and the exceeds. Black Rose Dragon, Iron Chain Dragon, Catastor. I made Catastor. I made Black Rose Dragon, I believe 3 times. It may have just been twice. There was an instance where I was going to make Iron Chain Dragon. However, I decided not to and saved the Debris Dragon. It actually paid off because that was one of the times that I made Black Rose Dragon and blew up the field with that same Debris Dragon. And holding off on the Iron Chain Dragon play is what led me into the Black Rose play, which was actually paid off even more than what the Iron Chain play would have. But as far as the extra deck, everything is really good. If I could run more 5s, I would run more Volcanosaurus. That card is really good. The only card out of the extra deck that I am certain that I'm going to be changing is Iron Chain Dragon, and not because of what he does or his attack or anything, but because there was a lot of 6 Samurais at that regional, and I'm expecting there to be just even more 6 Samurais as the meta continues to shape up. So Iron Chain Dragon is actually going to be dropped by no fault of his own, and Orient Dragon is going to be coming in, so I can get rid of those pesky Shians and whatnot. But synchroing has become a lot more used now with the 6 Sams making their comeback. So Orient Dragon is going to make his way into the extra deck, and Iron Chain Dragon is going to be dropped again at no fault of Iron Chain Dragons, just because from where the meta looks right now, Orient Dragon looks like it's going to be better. Alright, the side deck, the third MST is probably going to make its way into the main deck. Double Royal Decree, double Mind Crush, double Gemini Imps. I did not use this at all. I never saw any Gravekeepers. I never saw any Dark Worlds. I never played against any. However, Dark Worlds were there. There was a couple random people playing Gravekeepers, but Dark Worlds were there. And Gemini Imps would have been important had I played any of them. Max C was good. I liked having Max C in this side deck, especially when I played Paul Cooper in round 1. I never drew into it, but I liked having it there. Double Thunder King was really good. If I could figure out a way to configure this deck and fit in the 2 Thunder Kings, I probably would, just because Thunder King seems to be hurting more people than what I thought it was going to. Soul Taker, it was there, just in case of the hero matchup or the mirror match, and just to get rid of problem monsters. Deck Devi, only time that I side decked this in, I milled it, and one time I actually milled both of them with the same Lila mill, which sucked. But I didn't have a target to use on it anyway at that time. It probably would have won me the game had I been able to make that play, but I wasn't. Aaron is actually really, really good, guys. I brought this in my Frog Monarch matchup. I brought this in my Watt matchup. I brought this in playtesting before the regional against Taylor and his Mermeals. I brought this in and was getting rid of his Lens, putting them back into his deck. Aaron, I feel like, has a spot in the deck also. I don't know if it's going to be one of Lila's spots, but Aaron does have a spot in this deck, and it is really, really good. So there you go, guys. There's the overview of my Chaos Dragons and how I did at the St. Louis Regional, and just giving you guys a heads up that I'm going to be doing a lot more playing. I'm going to do a lot more, I guess, training, I guess, if you is what you would want to call it, because I'm going to be getting ready for nationals, and I'm just going to start playing a lot more and try to get a lot more competitive in this game. I appreciate it, guys. Subscribe, comment down below, show us how much you love us.